The next inductees are three of Jenny's and Mary's teams, the girls soccer teams of 1994, 1995, and 1996.
The girls' soccer teams from 1994, 95, and 96 had arguably the most successful run of any Bellarmine athletic program. The teams garnered 2 state championships over their 3 seasons. Those state championships bookended by a second-place finish in 1995 by the way of a shootout. Each of these teams forged their own identity, all coming together for a common goal: a state championship. With no seniors on the 1994 team, the players relied on each other and all played a role in leading the team. The intensity of their training sessions, combined with how tightly they bonded both on and off the field, translated into dominance on the field throughout the regular season, outscoring opponents with a 92-1 goal differential. With the momentum of the season at their backs, the collective belief in their abilities and their teammates, and a strong competitive spirit, the Lions beat Kamiakin 2-0 in the final game to lift the coveted first-place trophy, winning only the second state title for the women's soccer program. The 95 team began the season with huge expectations, returning the entire roster from the state championship team of 1994, and played the entire season taking every team's best shot. With 10 seniors on the team leading the way, they once again dominated the Narrows League play en route to another undefeated regular season, outscoring their opponents 105-2, while earning recognition as the third-ranked team in the nation. The Lions faced undefeated Shorecrest in the final game in front of a packed stadium filled with students, families, and friends who had been dedicated fans all year long. After intense play on both sides, the teams battled to a 2-2 tie at the end of regulation. The teams were scoreless through overtime, leading the teams to face off in a shootout. The Lions suffered their first loss in 41 games, with Shorecrest winning the shootout. The 1996 team lost 10 seniors from their previous year and returned just 2 starters. Everyone outside of the team thought the Lions would need to rebuild, but the team had other plans. They would simply reload. After avenging the state championship loss to Shorecrest in the semifinals, the Lions faced Decatur with the championship match on the line on a snow-lined field at Shoreline Stadium. With only 8 minutes on the clock, the Lions scored on an indirect kick, giving them a 1-0 lead. Minutes later, Decatur scored to tie the game, and it appeared the Lions would once again face overtime. The Cardiac Kids came through, as they had so many times throughout the season, and scored the game-winning goal in stoppage time, earning a hard-fought state title. The success of these teams modeled the notion that when you push yourself outside of your comfort zone, believe in one another, and work hard to overcome adversity, you have an unwavering commitment to your goals. You can make all of your dreams come true. For 3 years, they honored this community by their play on the pitch, and now we get to honor them by inducting them into the Hall of Fame class of 2022.
All right, the ladies of 94, 95, and 96, come on down. Speaking on behalf of the 94 and 95 team is Katie Ward.
Everybody here? Okay. Good evening, and wow, and I'm absolutely in the same agreement. Everybody's probably said everything, so you're just gonna have to listen to it again. My name's Katie Ward. I am a graduate from the class of 1996, and Bellarmine is a hard place to leave. You may leave, but you come back in some way, shape, or form. I am also a former Bellarmine staff member. I'm a current parent, a member of the Alumni Engagement Committee, and was a player on both the 94 and 95 teams. I'd like to start off by thanking both the Bellarmine boosters and the athletic department for acknowledging and honoring the teams of 94, 95, and 96. This is a tribute to the strength and success of both Bellarmine female athletes and the programs. My class of 96 played a significant role on both the 94 and 95 teams. Not only was the sheer number of high caliber players remarkable, but the leadership of this unique group proved to be invaluable, since in 1994, there were no seniors on the team. Going into that year, the bitter taste of a state semifinal defeat, combined with the fact that we weren't used to losing, ignited a fire that would be hard to put out. And they tried. They put all these rules on us. You can't score unless 10 people touch it. You have to only play left-footed. It was very complicated, but we did it. While a lot of good teams have phenomenal individuals, our strength is that we had both phenomenal individuals and we could also play as a team. We knew we could depend on each other, and we believed as a whole that this experience was bigger than any one individual. I specifically remember the excitement was so infectious, and with the whole school behind us, we went all the way. After the confidence and dominance, which are a normal theme on this team is confidence and dominance, we showed that season holding that trophy high was the only acceptable result for that year. We made it very clear what the Bellarmine girls soccer program was to become. Heading into my senior year, our dominance continued while the pressure to repeat was intense. At this point, we received national recognition for both Bellarmine and our select program, the FC Royals, where a majority of us played together and went on to become national champions. This combination put the Pacific Northwest, and specifically Tacoma, on the map as a girls' soccer powerhouse. Now, while the 95 season ended with an emotional shootout and a handful of injuries, the belief and trust in who we were and what we accomplished was bigger than we knew. We all loved the game of soccer, and you could see that on and off the field with this group. I would say we created a culture of empowerment for female student athletes, especially at a time when women's soccer was growing in popularity and collegiate programs and opportunities were becoming available throughout the country. It was clear that these players on these teams were something truly special. The fact that many of my teammates from both of these teams went on to play at the collegiate level again showed the caliber of student athletes coming out of Bellarmine. Some of the colleges included University of Washington, yeah, woo! Gonzaga, Boston College, Rutgers, Harvard, Notre Dame, University of Oregon, Santa Clara, and Seattle U. And just to put a little bit of perspective, A lot of these programs were very young and new. University of Washington, when I attended in 1996, was only the 6th year of the women's soccer program. The University of Oregon in 1996 was the 1st year of the women's soccer program. This sport was growing exponentially. While our perspective may change with age, the feelings of pride and gratitude do not. To all the players that we played with, to all the coaches that guided us, to all the parents and the fans that supported us, man, you fans were awesome. Some of you are back there. Thank you for showing up and being a part of this journey. We knew we were going to do great things, and we did. Cheers to my 94 and 95 teammates and friends. May the legacy of strength and sisterhood of the Bellarmine girls soccer program continue.
Speaking on behalf of the 96 team, Lindsay Leader.
Thanks, Katie. So as you recall from the video, and as was mentioned all of 1996, if you remember, the entire city thought that we were going to have an awful season in 1996 as we graduated some incredible players and teammates. As you may remember, Stadium's head coach, John Beretta, said, "Bellarmine lost all their guns." And that was a direct quote from the News Tribune. Countless articles forecasted our defeat, and headline after headline informed us that we lost our legacy with the graduation of this incredible class, which we all felt the loss of them moving on to incredible things. We were determined to prove everyone wrong. And I have to give a shout out to those who left, because they left in us, as the few remaining people, that we shouldn't be giving up. We did lose some of the most incredible female soccer players that this city had ever known. And the players who remained had always been there, doing the work, showing up day by day, and they were dedicated, we all were dedicated to getting back to Shoreline to redeem our state title. So my co-captain, Sarah Larkin, couldn't be here tonight, but we were reflecting together, and she wanted to remind everyone it was the strength in the team all along, that all of us coming together as a collective goal to fight and get us back to the state championship. So our 96 season was a battle every step of the way. All of us showing up with grit and determination to leave it all on the field. Our incredible coaches constantly reminding us that although we lost a lot of incredible people, that we had to own our own power and unique identity in that season, and supported us through all of that. We fumbled and fought very hard and never gave up, and we made our way back to Shoreline. And that state victory in 96 was quite a hard-fought battle with snow on the ground, and it wasn't the ideal conditions, I'll just say. And I'm sure that all of us will remember it was one of the most proudest, it was a proud moment of our lives. Carrie Cathcart's perseverance through an injury, Lisa's scrappiness, and Julie Butler's right foot. And as we won that night, as everyone thought we weren't going to, it wasn't just the team that was there, it was the alumni, it was the parents, it was all those incredible fans and coaches who had inspired us along the way. And I think that's the thing, right? And so many people have said this before, it's not just about the stats, but it's about this community that came together around this game that is so magical. So, I'm at a stage and age in my life where I can barely remember my own name, let alone like people and places and all of that. But when it comes to women's soccer at Bellarmine, the memories and people are incredibly vivid. And so whether it is gathering 20 girls in my parents' basement with Rice Krispie treats and treats that my mom made to watch movies, pool parties after defeating Jesuit in Portland, my father's voice over the microphone on Memorial Field, Rolling Stones, Queen, and Kenny Loggins playing in our pregame, fans that came together every single game and making that tunnel that we got to run through, parents whose voices cheered us on and supported us through countless games and practices, coaches who grounded us and inspired us and always made it fun, or laying on a locker room floor in the dark, holding hands and visioning blue taking over the whole field. These are the things I cherish. And these are the things that I hope my girls will get to experience in their days of playing games and sports with others. So many of us don't stay in touch or really don't know what's going on in one another's lives, but I think we could all say that the time that we shared together on and off the field has shaped us in ways that continue to strengthen and embolden us today. So on behalf of the team and the entire Lady Lions, thank you.